Hello and welcome to the McTaggart Attack podcast. I'm Kevin McTaggart, and my podcast is my way to give my opinion on whatever the fuck I want. That's right. I did an episode recently about banning guns. I've talked about tire pressure sensors in cars. Talked about camping, carpooling, all that shit. I've talked about it. If you want to contact me, you can email me, mctaggartattack@gmail.com. You can find me on Twitter, @KevMcT. You can also find the Facebook page for the McTaggart Attack podcast. Of course, on Facebook. And like I said, my podcast is my way of giving my opinion on whatever I want. And this episode is about Quentin Tarantino. Famous director Quentin Tarantino. My favorite director, probably. Because Pulp Fiction is my favorite movie. So wouldn't, Quentin Tarantino, thus, therefore, how come, become my favorite director. Right. And I just saw his latest movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I saw something in there that made me think about something, and I wanted to talk about it in today's episode. And, well, I'm watching the movie, and I just, there's a part where Brad Pitt picks up a woman in his car, and she presses her foot up against, she puts her feet on the dashboard, and you can see through the window of her feet pressing up against the glass. And it's just I've seen him do this before. I've seen him do this thing with women having their feet on the dashboard. And then she's still in the car and her feet are hanging out the window like she's barefoot and just putting her feet all over the place. And then there's a scene where Margot Robbie's character is in the movies, and she puts her feet up on the seat in front of her, and of course her boots are off, so it's just her bare feet. Again, with the bare feet. And there's a lot of scenes with bare feet. Not just the females, the males, like Leonardo DiCaprio was in his bare feet. I'm pretty sure Brad Pitt was in his bare feet at some point. Lots of fucking bare feet in this movie. And it just got me to thinking, does Quentin Tarantino have a foot fetish? And it's something I never thought about before. And I thought about other movies where there was scenes with bare feet. And, Pulp Fiction. I'm pretty sure the dance scene with Uma Thurman and John Travolta, I'm pretty sure Uma Thurman was barefoot. I'm pretty sure she was barefoot walking around her house before and after John Travolta picked her up. And it's just she was just bare feet. I remember as a kid being mesmerized by the bare feet. So maybe I have a bare feet obsession. Maybe I have a foot fetish too. I don't fucking know. But like another movie where I noticed like feet prominently displayed was that movie. What movie was it? What movie? Let's see. What movie was it? Death Proof. That's right. Was it Death Proof? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Death Proof. That's the one with Kurt Russell in the car. Right. And, like, there's a scene where these women have, like, their feet hanging out the window. And I'm like, I've seen this before. He has this fascination with people and their feet and just having their feet with no shoes on just dangling all over the fucking place. I'm like, what the fuck is this about? Does he have a goddamn foot fetish? And I'm like, I've never fucking noticed it before. But maybe I'm just not that observant to things. But I mean, I have noticed it before. But it's like, it didn't dawn on me that he might possibly have a foot fetish. Which is fine. It's perfectly fine to have a foot fetish. Unless you cut off the feet. Then you might have a problem. If you have a foot fetish, you know. Possibly. But yeah, I looked it up, actually, shortly before I started recording this podcast today. And sure enough, yes, Quentin Tarantino apparently has a foot fetish. I didn't look at them, but there's apparently a lot of YouTube videos that, you know, chronicle Quentin Tarantino's foot fetish. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Just like showing off feet. He likes feet. And it never really dawned on me that he had this fascination with feet before. You know, and it's just crazy that I never noticed it. It's kind of cool. It kind of leaves like it makes the characters more human, I think, by showing their bare feet. You know? And like some of them had like really dirty bare feet. And I'm wondering if that was on purpose. Just to like show like the realism of the situation, even though it's a movie. You know what I mean? Like it's sort of having them in their bare feet, I think, just shows, it gives realism to a fictional movie. I think is a good way to explain Quentin Tarantino's foot fetish. You know? I mean, that's gotta be... I haven't looked it up. I didn't want to read into it, but I just wanted to question, because like I'm pretty damn sure he has a foot fetish. I could have looked it up, but I didn't want to look it up. But I'm sure every movie he's done has people in their bare feet. I'm going to have to look into this now and look at these Quentin Tarantino foot fetish videos to confirm my beliefs. But yeah, based on the article that I just skimmed through, he apparently does have a foot fetish. And there are videos on YouTube showing like all the bare feet occurrences in all of his movies. So go look up Quentin Tarantino's foot fetish and you're welcome. And that is the bottom line if you smell what the McTaggart Attack podcast is cooking.